In today's video, we are going to look at how we can use a calculator. Um, many of us we do not really take into consideration how we can really use the calculator to our advantage. Knowing how to use a calculator is very important, and I believe those that are doing mathematics, a calculator is something that we all need, so that it can help us with our calculations. Now, I should point out that when you buy a calculator, usually a calculator comes with its own manual that you need to read and understand how the calculator works. Here is just an example of one of the calculators that we can actually use, but there are also other types of calculators which are different from this one. But for this video, we are going to look at how to use this type of a calculator. First of all, let me try to switch off the calculator. We all know how to turn on the calculator. You can see the on button here. It's indicated by on. If you just press that button, you can see the screen will show something. Now, what is more important is reading everything that is written, both on the keys and what is also typed on top of those keys. If you can check very well with this calculator, let's look at the on button. You can see the word on, it's actually printed in white. The same with mode, also the same, the labels on top of the buttons, they are in white. But if you look at another, the word like setup, it's in a different color. I think this is yellow. So it means if you want to press, for instance, the letter E to the power something, this one here, it means you have to first press what is printed in yellow. Now, in our case, not the mode button, but the shift, because the shift, you can see it's printed in yellow. Everything that you are seeing here printed in yellow, the state, the R&D, the degree, and what, everything. First, you should press the shift and then that function. But you can also see some that are printed, I think, in I don't know what color is this. I'm not sure if it's red or pink. They also work. If you can see the previous answer here, you can see the F, the M, and so on. They work with the alpha, which is printed in that color. Now, when you're using a calculator, the very first step, the very first thing to take into consideration is the following. When you turn on the calculator like this, sometimes it may have been used by another person, and that person may have recorded something in that calculator. If you can look at this button here, above this button here, you can see there is recording there. So some calculators can record something. So what you have to know is that you have to clear the memory first. Now, to clear the memory, you have to check the calculator. Do not be in a hurry. Just check the calculator. If you look at our key number 9, above there, what is indicated is CLR. That is clear. Stands for clear. Or in other words, we want to reset the calculator. So that clear is printed in yellow. So first we have to press the shift button and then you press 9. Now what you can see there, it's asking clear. What do you want to clear? There are 3 options. Is it the setup, which is option number 1? Is it the memory of the calculator, which is option number 2? Or you want to clear everything, which is option number 3. So in our case, we can clear everything, which is option number 3. We press 3 there, and then it gives us 2 options, either to say yes or no. If it's yes, you just press equal and then a C. Now the calculator has nothing stored in it. It means we are now starting from the beginning. After doing that, check very well. Here we have math and here we have D. Now the calculator should always display D or the word, some calculators will display the word D, E, G for degree. Make sure your calculator is in that form before you start with your calculations. Otherwise, sometimes it may not give you the answers that you want. Now let's move further. Let's say we want to, let's start with simple things. Let's say we want to calculate 4, I'm writing here 4 divided by 2. We want to do it on the calculator. What you simply do, if the calculator is on, you come to 4, and then our division is here, 4, and then we are dividing by 2, and then we press equal. We are getting 2. I think this is basic for everyone. That is basic for everyone. Now, what if you look at this division sign here, what if we want to type it the way it appears here in that form? Now, what we have to do, we check on the calculator, and you can see here we have this button that can give us a fraction. So what you do, you clear that, and then we punch 4, and then the fraction button, and then 2. You can see now it is now in a fraction form. And then you can press your equal, which is 2. So you just have to know how to use the calculator. The second thing that I want us to do, let's say we have a fraction, for instance 8/5, and let's use the fraction button. We are dividing by 6. This is equal to 8/5 over 6. It is still giving us an improper fraction. But what if we want to have that number or that fraction as a mixed number? What do we do? Now, what you have to do there, you come to, we want to use the setup. You come to shift and then you press set up. So we have so many options here. Now what we want is fraction. So we don't see any fraction here. So you come to this downward arrow. Option number 1, we have AB over C. That is a mixed number. Look at AB over C. That is a mixed number. But option 2, which is D over C, that is just a normal fraction like the one that we have, which is 8/5 over 6. So since we want to have our answer as a mixed number, we are going to press option number 1. And then you can see our answer is in a mixed number form. But if you want to have it as an improper fraction, the way it was, you just come again to shift and then setup, and then we come down here and then we press option 2, and then we have it as a mixed number. That is basically what you need to know there. Now apart from that, let's say you are given 2 to the power 4. You want to do it on the calculator. How do you press 2 to the power 4? Now with this calculator, it's very easy. What you do, since the power here is not 2, it is 4. What you do, you press your 2, which is the base, and the power, which is 4, we are going to use x to the power something, which is not indicated there. So we are going to press that, and you can see there's like a square there. So that's now where you have to put in your 4, and then it's equal to 16. But if it was 4 to the power 2, the power is 2. What we're going to do, we press 4, the power here is 2, and we can see 2 as a power here. So we are going to press this button, no longer this one, but we can press this one. If you want to press this one, it's also okay, but to make it easy, just press this one, and then you can see the 2 there, and then you press equal. It's also the same for if you want to press 3 to the power 3. To the power 3, you can see the 3 there is the power. Just press that button, and then you have 3 to the power 3. Apart from that, let's say we want to have our answer in standard form. We want to have our answer in standard form. Let's say we have 8, 5, and we are dividing this number by let's say 0.0125. We are dividing a very big number by a small number. Let's press equal. We have our number like that, but we want to have this number in standard form. So what we do, you come to shift and then your setup, and then what you can see, we have option number 7, SCI, that stands for scientific notation. Remember, the other word for standard form is scientific notation. So you press the button 7, and then you can press either 9 or 0, and then your answer is in standard form. But keep in mind, when you get this answer, only write the first 3 digits, which are non-zero. The rest of the zeros, you don't need to write them, and then you only write times 10 to the power, whatever the power is there. That is basically how you want to, how to write a number in standard form. But let's say we want to go back to, because if we have to put on and then we do any calculation like that, and then let's say we multiply by 5, our answer is still in standard form. But let's say we want to go back into ordinary form. What you do, you go to mode, and then you press 1. Not like that. You go back to, because we still have CSI there, you go back to shift and then setup. Now from here you are going to go number 8, which is normal, and then you press 1 and then equal. You can see the SCI has disappeared. It's no longer activated. So if you do any calculation and then you multiply or divide by any number, it is now in normal state. That was standard form and going backwards. Now, the other thing that I also want to show you is, let's say we have, I think I need to write it somewhere. Let's say we have a number like 180, and we are told to find the factors of that number. If you look at that number, it's very big. If you are given, for example, 4, and we have to find the factors, we know it is 1, 2, and then 4 itself. But 180 is a big number. It can take us some time. But with the help of a calculator, it becomes very easy. What you are going to do, sorry for that. What you are going to do, you check on the calculator. Now on the calculator, if you check very well, what you can see, I think I need to bring it down. What you can see here, this button here, this one, above that button you can see fact. Fact stands for factors, and in this case we are talking about prime factors. So what you do, you will punch your 180 and then equal, which is 180, and that fact is typed in or printed in yellow. So you have to use shift first, shift and then fact, and you can see this is the answer. These are the prime factors. 2 to the power 2 times 3 to the power 2 to the power 2 times 3 to the power 2 times 5. Those are the factors of that number. So you can now come and write that your 180 is equal to 2 to the power 2 times 3 to the power 2 times 5. Trust me, if you can master these techniques, it will help you in your exam or your test preparations. Maybe we can also do one more number. Let's say, which number can we take? Let's take, for example, 10. Not 10, let's take 64. And then we press equal, and then shift, and then fact, which is this button here. You can see it's 2 to the power 6. It's very easy and straightforward. Let's also try 125. We press equal and then shift and then fact. It is 5 to the power 3. So it's very easy. Now keep in mind that these answers will always be in index notation. Now the other thing that I also want to show you, can you memorize that answer? It is 5 to the power 3. That is the answer that we are getting. Now let's do one more calculation. Take note of that answer. Let's do one more calculation. Let's say 2 plus 3 equal to 5. But let's say we want to go back to the previous answer. Our previous answer was 5 to the power 3. This is our current answer, but our previous answer was 5 to the power 3. Let's say we want to see that answer. Let's say we have gotten that answer. So the calculator is programmed in such a way that it can also show you the previous workings. So what you do, you check here, it's indicated in red, pre-ANS for previous answer. It is in red or pink, I don't know what that color is. So what you do, you press alpha first, this button here, alpha, and then you come to answer, and then you press equal, and that was our answer, which is 5 to the power 5 to the power 3 is equal to 125. 125. We can also do another one. Let's say we have 5 times 5 equal to, and we want to check our previous answer. It is no longer 125. I think it will be 5, because we typed in 2 plus 3. So we come here, sorry, not alpha, but not shift but alpha, and then that, and then equal to, we are getting 5. So that is basically what you can actually do on a calculator. So if you read your manual very well, the manual that comes with the calculator, it will tell you what to do when you want whatever that you want. Maybe the last thing that I can also show you is, let's say we have an answer like 4 divided by 8 equals 2. The answer there is a fraction, but let's say we want to have a decimal number, not a fraction. You are going to use this button here. You just press this button and then it will give you a decimal number. To go back to the fraction, you press the same button again. So if you want to watch more videos on how to use the calculator, please, I will encourage you to subscribe, comment, and share the video with others. Let's turn it off like that.